Good morning this beautiful Friday morning. On behalf of the board, management and staff, we welcome you to today's edition of Morning Ride. Today is Friday the 20th day in the month of March 2026. It's not out of place to still say Happy Eid al-Fitr. I won't be riding alone this morning. I'm Perpetual Iboba. I'll be riding with my Friday partner, Lilibeth Ugochukwu. Good morning, Lilibeth.
Good morning, Perpetua Iboba. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. I feel good.
Happy Eid al-Fitr.
I wish you say. I wish you say.
Okay, so I am dressed in the attire, and I hope maybe from here we'll just go to the mosque and pray.
Yes.
Because it is praying for unity. Yeah, some people are giving me winks. You want to? Of course. We'll pray. We'll pray.
Pray for love
Okay, we'll
and
go to church
unity.
and pray.
Yes, so.
Good morning, Daltons. Good morning, Nigerians. I'm glad to welcome you this morning, the Friday, the 20th day, like you rightly said, to our world of information, education, and entertainment. We have a lot packed for your viewing pleasure, and I hope you stay with us.
Exactly. In the words of Lilibeth, we have a whole lot packed for your viewing pleasure. Let's begin with the celebration of the Eid al-Fitr. I think it's just Lilibeth's outfit that is portraying the fact that yesterday and today is the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. But it's not out of place to say that this is a time where the tenets of love, the virtues of peace are being preached, and we are also advised to uphold it. I think the buzz is not really loud here because of the location. You know, this is the south, you know, because if you go to northern states, you know that the buzz is loud there. There are lots of celebration, lots of exchange of food and drinks, monetary gifts and all of that. But we located right here too, we'll still also extend our love to those around us, you know.
Yes.
And it's our prayer that we'll continue to be united as one, as a country, and then the security issues in the country are also mitigated to a very, very large extent. This takes us to the trending issues. We begin on a very, very sad note that people were killed in Taraba State. About 5 people were killed 2 days ago in Taraba State by gunmen. And we've, like I said last week, Lilibeth, I said when we feel like there is peace and we are, you know, silently thanking God that at least we've not heard 1 or 2 bad news. We hear another one. Is it kidnapping of clergies? Is it kidnapping of priests, pastors, innocent people? I saw a video of a man begging Nigerians for 100 million ransom. Like he was surrounded by guns. Like guns were pointed, cracked guns were pointed at his head, and then he was begging well-meaning Nigerians to help him raise money. Or is it that core member that even after his family raised 100 million naira, as we speak, the young man is nowhere to be found? So I don't really know, because the thing is, in as much as we pray for investors to locate our country, let's be honest, nobody will want to invest in a place where the security is questionable, the security state is questionable. You wouldn't do that, Lilibeth. You wouldn't. The first question you will ask, even in a residential apartment, is how safe is this place? How much of my safety is guaranteed? Talk more of a place where you want to invest. So I don't know if this is going to be mitigated. I don't know, but it's our prayer, honestly.
Yes. That's why, thank God, today is Eid al-Fitr. It is a clarion call for everyone, both Christians and Muslims. And the good thing, the Christians and the Muslims fast are just together.
Yes.
So I think by next week, the Christians will be rounding off their fast.
Yes,
and yes, and they're celebrating the Easter. So it is a clarion call for everyone to come together and pray for peace and unity of your country. Even the Minister of Interior, Dr. Tunji Ojo, also urged citizens to use this medium to pray for peace and unity in the country, and also reflect on your life. Reflect on things that you've done in the past, things that you're doing that does not sit well with your religion. Okay, so if you know it does not sit well, is a time for you to repent. It's a time for you to change. Now we hear of kidnapping, we hear of killings every now and then. My question is, what exactly is their aim? What exactly is their motive Is it that they want to kill everybody on this earth and then take over? But will it be fun? It's just like you staying all by yourself in this room. No one to talk to, no one to play with, nowhere to even go by. Okay, you are so lazy that you can't even go to the farm, because I know these persons, they're so lazy they can't go to the farm to farm or even do any business. What they know is live in the bushes like animals and collect ransom, demand for ransom that they cannot even work for. Imagine 100 million naira. Like, where do you get such an amount of money from? Let's assume that man is just a poor farmer. Where will 100 million naira come from? The kind of prices they ask for are the ones that you hear, and you ask yourself, can they even count it? If you give them 100 million, will they be able to count it? They don't have counting machines. So how would they even know that, okay, this is 100 million naira? So we really have a lot to do as Nigeria is concerned. We have a whole lot to do in terms of insecurity.
This is calling on the government that all hands should also be on deck, because the guns these people use, it's something sophisticated weapons. These people, there was a time last year that these people had the freedom to go on TikTok to brag, and I still don't know why these people have not been traced. But a Nigerian, Lilibeth, if you stay in the coffers of your room or your village to make any statement inciting the government, I give the government 24 hours, they will trace you.
Yes.
How they will trace you will be shocking to you.
Yes.
I don't know why the case is different for these people, but however it is, this is a clarion call to the government that please, the safety and security of Nigerians should be number one, honestly speaking. Last year,
there was one yesterday, one kidnap case yesterday, that the bandits, they sent an account number.
An account number?
So you want to tell me that the military cannot trail that account number?
They sent like a bank account number.
A bank detail. They sent it. Number, name, they sent it. To tell you that these people are no longer scared. It seems someone is just fanning the fire behind. They are no longer scared. They don't care. They don't think of the consequences. Before it used to be cash, bring the cash. But now they sent an account number. So what does that tell you? Wow. They have the backing, definitely.
As saddening as it may be, as heartbreaking as it may be, we pray that the government looks into this anomaly before this anomaly becomes a norm that has come to live and dwell among us. Because this is like a cancer that is going to be eating deep right into the bone of this country, eating on anything that has grown in this country. Like I said earlier on, investors will not want to invest. Places that are used for tourism sites in the country people would not want to come there. It's not going to generate revenue because everybody is interested in his or her safety. And as Nigerians, let's help ourselves. I think, Lilibeth, the era of I am grown, I'm going out, I think it has passed. If you are going out, at least you should tell somebody, a trusted friend, this is where I'm going to. If I'm traveling, I should be able to say, okay, this is my location. Not because I don't trust where I'm going to, but should anything happen because of the uncertainty that has sadly surrounded us right here in this country. So big, small, young, old, teenagers, young adults, this is not the era of saying I am grown and I can take care of myself. Yes, we know you're grown. We know you can take care of yourself. But above all of this, please let's be security conscious. Let's drop our locations, send our locations to people around us. Let's be transparent to people we trust about where exactly we are going to. It is very, very important at this point.
Okay, it's not really all about dropping locations. You may forget to drop locations, or you may drop a location and then you're taking to another location and you forget to tell the person, oh, I've changed location. Turn on your location on your phone. Go to your location settings
and turn
it on. Some persons turn it off. Maybe your location, okay, to let people know where you are.
Very, very important, honestly. Turn on your location. It's getting scarier by the passing of each day.
God will help us.
Do you know how heartbreaking it is that some people in the diaspora do not even want to come back to the country because they look at all these things that are happening on the news line, on the newsreels, and the question they ask those of us here is it that bad? Is it that bad? Because like 10 years back, the complaints were there. 15 years back, the complaints were there. But from last year to this year, and when I even remember that these people had the audacity to invade a school in broad daylight, Lilibeth, to kidnap students. Is it the one that happens in the eastern part of the country, that kidnapping of our clergymen and clergy women was like the order of the day? Some were killed, actually.
What about the king that was kidnapped and killed? I think that should be in Enugu State. A king kidnapped and killed. His body was found.
Another monarch, I think in
were,
Ondo State, was also kidnapped too and killed.
What is the relationship between the king? I think it's beyond kidnapping. It's beyond asking for ransom. And I just believe so. Because in the case of this king, no ransom was even requested. They killed the man. So it could be, okay, now that the election era is forthcoming, people have to be extremely careful.
And I even think there is even this period that, you know, we should experience more peace and everything should be together in the country because, you know, we are about to transition to a new government. So the safety of the people, of the masses, should be like guaranteed 100%. That's what I feel like, you know, the year leading to election period, everything has to be in order. Now, are we even talking about the surge in price of fuel?
Well, talking about the election era that you said you expect that this period is supposed to be
should
peaceful.
Be calm, yes.
But some thugs are still being used. They're still being manipulated. Even after the sensitization that has been going on, don't allow yourselves to be used. Yet they allow themselves to be used.
To what end?
There was a viral video in one part in Rivers State where a particular party had their canopies, music and everything. They were set to have their meeting. And another party, thugs, went there to disrupt this gathering. They destroyed the canopies, destroyed the music set, destroyed the banner, and chased the people away, telling them that no other party is going to rule in this place, only my party. Does that really make sense? Like, have we gotten to that extent where you now decide the fate of people, the fate of citizens who have the right to vote, who have the right to belong to any party they want to belong to? When I saw it, I was like, what is this? And what is the governor of the government of that state? What is he doing? What exactly is he doing? That somebody will just come and declare that only one particular party will rule this kingdom. And nothing is done about it. It is sad, very, very sad. I don't even know which one, I don't know which is bad. I don't know which we will hold. You hold this one, you hear another one coming up. You hold this one, you hear another. So it's just unfortunate.
A lot of anomalies are raising its ugly heads in the society, and it's becoming a period of worry. Like, it's becoming like something worrisome. Like, we should look at how safe are we in the country. Well, moving on, another one that has raised its ugly head, like I chipped in earlier, is the surge in the price of petrol, you know, due to the war in Iran and all of that, the Iran and Israel attack. You know, there has been a surge in the price of oil and gas, and unfortunately, Nigeria is not exempted from this, and invariably it has affected overnight, Lilibeth. It has affected the prices of goods and services. Now, from my junction to my second junction that is just close to my house is now 300 naira from 200 naira. And when I was trying to protest, they said, don't you listen to the news? I didn't say a word, and when I came down, I gave the man 200. And the man was looking at me, Madam, now because of you, I said, tomorrow I will pay 200 again. Because you will not stress me. I'm not in Iran, I'm in Nigeria. You will not stress me. You will not add to my stress. Well, as funny as it sounds, this is one of the effects of war. We are not in Iran, we are not in Israel, but we are feeling the heat right now. And this heat, as little as 100 naira, has cascaded down to prices of food, prices of services, prices of goods. The price of a bag of rice is not as it used to be at the beginning of the year. Same with oil, same with different things. Things are gradually skyrocketing, and it brings me to the question, when will all of this end? Because it's not like the income is increasing, Lilibeth. The income is not increasing, but the price of living is skyrocketing.
And when you ask that the income increases, there will be drags here and there. But price of food stuff, no drags. It just goes like that. And at the twinkle of an eye.
And at the end of the month, before your pay comes, mentally, you know, it's not there.
Calculated everything.
Even the money you're setting aside to, you know, for rainy days, I think there is no more rainy days. A friend of mine said, we are experiencing the rainy days.
Already.
So what are you saving for? What could be worse than this, actually? We are in the rainy days. So what are you actually saving for? It's a whole lot.
A grown man was almost in tears yesterday when he told me, Lilibeth, everywhere is dry. I almost broke down. This is a man that has 3 grown children in school. He told me everywhere is dry. You go to the market to buy building materials, they tell you, please carry. You can pay later when you have money. Because some persons are here, nobody is even touching their goods, nobody is buying their goods. So when you see someone that comes to take your goods, you allow the person to carry. Yes, whenever you have the money, you pay instead of the goods to be there. It is that bad. It is that bad. People no longer care whether you bring the money now. All they know is just let the goods leave my shop. I don't want to see these goods in my shop. Let it go. So it is that bad. And like you said, when it is going to end? It will only end when Jesus says so. And he has not spoken to anybody.
He said when Jesus says so. You are treading the biblical part, honestly. And I feel like at this point in this country, you know, luxury is far from it. I think it's those at the upper echelon or the bourgeois that can afford luxury, talking about the ostentatious outfits, jewelry, hairstyle. I think the need of every common man is just food, clothing, shelter. Are we talking about the exorbitant rate of house rents at this point?
Oh, no,
it's something else. I saw a video of a bed sitter, and what when you're entering for the first time is 850, then subsequently you pay $500,000
for just a tiny room.
And when I saw the video, I was asking myself, has it gotten this bad? Or are we just exploiting ourselves?
We're exploiting ourselves.
Because when we say, you know, the government, I think that, you know, when one hand is pointing at the government, the four is pointing back at us to carry out introspection. Is it really bad, or we want to feed from ourselves, notwithstanding how bad it is? Is it our greed that is taking a better part of us? Because when I saw that room, nothing about that apartment was initial payment, nothing was screaming 850 about that place. Subsequent payment, nothing was screaming $500,000 about it. You know, there are some apartments you move to, and when they tell you you pay subsequently 500, you know, $500,000, you will help them to justify it. You even tell them, okay, fine, okay, I'm paying $500,000 because of this. I'm paying $500,000 because of that. Even when your friends come over, they tell you $500,000 for a year, you say, yes, now, can't you see this? Can't you see that? Can't you see that? It's worth it, and I want my peace of mind. But nothing about that apartment was screaming $500,000. Nothing.
No heater in the bathroom.
Nothing was
no kitchen cabinet.
Nothing was screaming $500,000, and it's
and you see some persons will go to pay.
Yes, a lot of people will go to pay. I won't be surprised if payment was even effected when I saw it, the day I saw it. So I think that above all these anomalies we experience in the society, it's time for us Nigerians to call ourselves to order and ask ourselves, in as much as we blame the government, we want the government to fix this, we want the government to fix that, how well are we encouraging the government in our little corner? Is it by exploiting people or by being honest citizens and Nigerians? Well, I'll leave this question for all of us to answer. And on a very...
The House of Rep has even raised concerns about this...
the rent issue.
No, about this fuel
issue.
Scarcity.
Yeah.
But one good thing in Delta States is there are no queues.
No, there are no queues, actually. There are not.
But in other states, there are queues.
There are. In Lagos, FCT, there are. Lagos,
yes,
FCT.
Queues. And in Delta State, Asaba precisely, some persons sell 1,300 per litre, and some sell 1,400 per litre. Now I'm asking, is there no regulatory board to regulate the prices of this? Because I think they buy from the same source. Even if they don't buy from the same source, at least the marketers, they have a fixed price. So how come the retailers now have different price? Why would some persons be selling one for in the same political zone?
I think these are the anomalies.
In Port Harcourt, I hear they sell 1,250 naira. Now, the House Committee, that's the House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Resources, warned that petrol queues and a spike in pump prices may be imminent if urgent corrective measures are not taken. He said this at a press briefing at the National Assembly in Abuja yesterday. The committee chairman, who is Ikenga Ugochinyere, described the situation as a looming crisis that could significantly worsen the economic burden on Nigerians within weeks. Now, the fear is that it may still increase again. Some persons are saying that it may still increase to 2,000 naira per litre. Now, when it gets there, what will be the fate of the average mass?
I think car owners need to park their cars if, God forbid, it increases to 2,000. Some persons have already parked their cars.
It's even cheaper to go with
keke. But at this point, the tricycle owners now, when they see that, God forbid, let's say, should it increase to 2,000 or more, they will still increase their fares.
They will increase.
They will definitely increase their fares.
But it still will not get to how much you buy fuel. You know that.
And you know the sad part about this thing? It's going to affect every other thing.
Every sector.
It's going to affect every sector, from food to clothing, to shelter, to medical fees, to expenses. Everything will be increased. Everything will be affected. That's the problem.
We just pray. God help us.
We pray that everything gets better. We can only hope and pray at this point. But there's this trending issue that made headlines, and I really, really love it. And I wish that every other minister would, take a cue. David Umahi has come out to say that all federal road projects that were constructed are transparent and they are open to ICPC and EFCC for scrutiny. That's what he said. And he said it on Wednesday. He said that he insisted that the operations are within the ministry. He said the operations within the Ministry of Works remain very, very transparent. He said there is nothing that is done in the Ministry of Works that cannot be defended. And he knows that to change from asphalt to predominantly concrete, there was a battle, and that's why minister can come out to say this with his or her full chest. And you know that for a minister to come out to say this, he has done the work. He has no axe to grind. He has done the work. He's confident in what he has done. And when I was seeing this, I said, oh, I wish all ministers can do this. That when they are carrying out work, they can say, EFCC, ICPC, if you know you are suspecting anything in my work, come and scrutinize. We can defend what we are doing. I feel like if every minister, if every leader can come out to do this, it will give rise to a more transparent society where we know that this person is at the helm of affairs and he or she is doing his or her work transparently, and we have nothing to fear because this person is obviously doing it with his or her conscience and with the safety of Nigerians in mind.
Yeah, that's true. Now let me narrow it down to Delta State. the governor of Delta State, Governor Sheriff Operewori, how he monitors projects.
Yes.
I see contractors go and do, some of them do absolutely rubbish. And he goes there and checks the quality of materials being used to construct those sites. Even the drainage system, the roads. You see him there, he's checking the materials. Now, if you want to bid for a contract in Delta State, you will be very, very careful not to use standard materials or inferior materials, because you know that definitely the governor is going to come himself to check that project.
Yes.
So now, if you check now, most of the roads now, they are good. They are being used, they've been using good quality materials to construct them, because of the fear of being caught, using inferior, or the contract taken away from you, or you paying damages, or even risk going to jail. So every contractor in the other states they are now up and doing. They don't want to use inferior materials again.
The question is, why would you even use substandard products in the first place?
Because they want to cut corners.
You want to cut corners at the detriment of the safety of those that you're working for, the safety of Nigerians.
Do they care? There are some persons that really do not have conscience. There are some persons that all they want is just to fill their pockets. They don't care about the other person. Sometimes you see a particular road, every year it's been awarded for repairs, but it's not being repaired. And when you ask, they will tell you, oh, is it me that will repair it? And when the other person was giving money, the person did not repair it. Is it me that will repair it? Of course, I'll put the money in my pocket.
There's a saying,
because there's no check.
There's a saying in the humanitarian setting that says life you save today can be yours tomorrow. Do these people not consider the fact that if I use substandard products to, let's say, construct this road, tomorrow, God forbid, my relative, my child, my spouse, my lover, someone that I'm close to can ply this road and be victim of an accident? Do they not, because of the mistake I've made from my greed, do they not put all of these into consideration?
It's lack of conscience. You're even talking about road. Talk about drugs.
Food stuff.
Talk about pharmaceutical products. These are drugs that could even go and come back to you, because definitely you will fall sick one day. And when you fall sick, you that have sold that fake drugs, you fall sick, they go to that shop that bought that fake drug and brings it back to you. They don't think.
There's one trending right now in the healthcare sector talking about them producing fake cancer drugs, about 2 of them, Tecentriq and Avastin, actually, right now. It's on board, and it's been reported by healthcare professionals, and I think NAFDAC too. And these drugs are very, very important for cancer patients. How they found that was that the one that is now being circulated is cheaper than the original one, and it calls to question, what are these people up to what end actually? The money you want to make, what can be taken away from you like with the snap of a finger, with one emergency or the other?
But do you know they can actually get the producers of that fake drugs?
Oh, they should. I think it's been investigated.
The person that you got the drugs from will take you to where he or she bought the drug from. That one will take you to the place he got the drugs from. And with that, you climb the ladder, you will definitely get where it's produced, because it did not just fall from the sky. It passed through hands.
A link.
Yeah, so it's very easy to get the person that made that fake drugs.
However it is, we're still lamenting on the anomalies of the society, but however it is, we pray that all of these are nipped in the bud. Well, any trending issues from your corner, Lilibet?
Yeah, we want to welcome our president back from the UK.
Yes.
And the wife.
He's back.
Yes, he's back. So, our president Tinubu arrives Lagos and urges stronger Nigeria-UK trade ties after 746 million euro ports deal. Now, the president has arrived in Lagos early this morning following his official state visit to the United Kingdom, where he called for stronger trade and economic relations between both countries. Now, during the visit, Tinubu emphasized the need to build on long-standing bilateral ties by expanding mutually beneficial economic cooperation, particularly in trade and investment. The president had earlier met with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer at 10 Darwin Street, where both discussed key issues including economic reforms, global challenges, security, and climate change. Now, the president is calling on investors to come and invest, in Nigeria, you know, particularly in trade. Now, you said something about security.
Yes.
How can someone boldly come and say, oh, okay, let me invest without the fear of insecurity, without the fear of, oh, I hope I'm not going to get kidnapped and the rest of it. So I think we need to curb this kidnapping issue before you now call on investors to come so that they can gladly and happily, freely come to invest in your country. He's also talking about insecurity, like when he went to visit, he talked about insecurity. So, yes. Because as it is, it's like it's overwhelming Nigerians. It's overwhelming our military system. They cannot do it all by themselves. It's not bad to ask for helping hands from other countries.
It's not bad to ask for helping hand, but the question right now, how well have we helped ourselves? Because I know that you said to be overwhelming the military, but the military, like so far, they've been doing their best. That the question is it that they don't have intelligence to track people that we see every day on TikTok? They came boldly, you know, there are lots of reports of some of them with their guns and coming to boast online and all. Is it that these people cannot be tracked? But when an ordinary citizen, that call member girl, came out to say something about NYSC, and then immediately she was tracked, and do you get my point? So I don't know what to say honestly in all of this.
Well, in that security, the Taminu Tukai-led National Working Committee of People's Democratic Party has urged President Bola Tinubu and the security hierarchy to adopt a whole of society approach towards solving the security challenge currently facing Nigeria. Now, the faction's National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Ini Ememobong, who stated this in a statement in Abuja yesterday, advised the government to address the security challenge in a proactive manner. Everyone is just crying security, security, calling on governments, calling on the president to tackle security, security. What about individuals? What about individuals? Sometimes we see things and we don't say anything. We keep quiet. We don't call the
security
appropriate, yes.
Because we feel it's not our business. We feel it doesn't affect us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's it. So it has to do with us as well. It's not just the government do this, government do that, or the president do this and that. We also have to help. If you see something, say something. You have police numbers. Okay, you can just call any security agent. You can call if you see any movement that you suspect. You can call. And then secondly, we should stop allowing ourselves as youth, stop allowing ourselves being used as thugs or being used as mercenaries. It has to begin from us, because these people are not papas, they are not mamas, they are not old people. They are still youth. So it is still us that they are using. So if you tell yourself the truth that you don't want anyone to use you again, then change begins from you and I.
Yes.
It does not begin from the top, it begins from you and I. So let's have a different mindset towards that. Now, the last I'll talk about is this power supply. It's becoming alarming.
When you said this power supply, your face changed, your countenance changed, your
Mm-hmm.
mood changed.
It is biting, and you know what? Because I love cooking all the time. But now, I don't have a single food in my fridge because the fridge is not on.
You can't try
now,
it.
If you want to go and buy solar for your fridge, you know how much you'll be coughing out in
Somebody said online, the next person that is going to advise me to get solar, we are going to have personal problems. You're going to tell me solar is 5 naira. Solar is not cheap at all.
Okay, see what our governor said. Brighter days ahead as Oborowori's administration moves to address persistent power challenges in the society. Now, he has outlined comprehensive measures being implemented. Okay, Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori has outlined comprehensive measures being implemented by his administration to address persistent electricity challenges across the state, combining policy reforms with aggressive infrastructure development to boost power supply and stimulate economic growth. Now, speaking during the inauguration of the 31-kilometer rehabilitated Ohoro Bumadi Road on Tuesday, the governor revealed that several communities that had been without electricity for over a decade have now been reconnected to the national grid, significantly improving living standards and opening up new economic opportunities. It's not just about being connected to the national grid. It's about the national grid giving us lights. What is happening to the power sector? Now, it baffles me that most band A's, or would I call it in Delta, let me call it in Delta, 33 line, they have light.
Yes, they do.
So, what channel is used to give them light?
They have light.
Can't that same channel be used to give other persons light? Maybe I'll place them at band. Should I place them at band A?
Why should we even have bands? Because when this band came out, I was of the opinion that let's unband this and make everybody with a particular price. The truth is, Nigerians will definitely complain, but if they say that they are having lights, let's say more than 20 hours a day, for businesses, for our homes, for our comfortability, to store our food, we all need light. So I've always been against this band A and band Z, whatever it is, but honestly speaking.
But you know, some persons in FCT that are still using this band A, they still cry out that they don't really give them constant lights.
But even those that use band A here, they experience like they have light actually.
So I really do not know if it's not the same distribution company that gives them lights and gives band B lights. So why only them? Why not spread the light? Because this light issue, I will not lie, it is becoming unbecoming.
It's
fighting hard. I bought solar fan.
Okay.
The other day. And it was like I was flying in the air. Like I now have a solar fan and a solar bulb. But that is not enough.
It's not actually.
What about your fridge? Sometimes you want to come back to a cold drink or a bottle of cold water and you don't have it. And now we are approaching the rainy season. Okay. Solar is not going to be that effective.
It's not going to be.
It is the
sunlight that powers it.
Even the solar that people are clamoring for, it's still not
enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. We need lights. Week in, week out, no light. Like in my house now, I've not seen light for like 2 weeks, going to 3 weeks.
Over 2 weeks.
So and this is terrible.
Those that use their generator, someone was lamenting online days ago that in 2 weeks to power her fridge and everything, because she runs a business, on fuel alone she has spent over 70,000 naira.
Yes, I believe that.
And it's a lot. It calls to question now, if there was light, I think that 70,000 naira or over 70,000 naira she has spent would have been channeled into something else. Yeah. Let's say food. Let's say savings, if at all she doesn't even want to use it for anything. But you find out that you're burning fuel every day. Another post I saw online, a woman at the middle of the night, she said 2:33 a.m. I'm sorry, my neighbors, but I can't bear this heat. I have to put on my gin. It tells you that Nigerians are not smiling anymore. How about those people that don't even have the generator? Talk more of the money to fuel it. You find out that they don't even sleep well at night. They are not comfortable.
It tells now.
It tells on your mood when you wake up in the morning, because you are grumpy, you are edgy. Sometimes people greet you and you're answering with your nose, not because you want to answer with your nose, but it is the condition, the surrounding condition that is telling on your emotions, on your mood, and how you act towards people around you. It's a whole lot, honestly. See, it is a whole lot.
People sleep outside now. I went to a compound to visit someone at night, and I saw them, they've already tied the mosquito nets and put, and
it's looking like camp.
The whole family.
It's looking like camp.
Yes, all of them, the mother and children were in one, while the father was in another tent. I was like, is this where they're going to sleep till? Yes, that's where they're going to sleep till morning. That's because of the heat inside.
It's
the
not
walls,
fun.
you touch the walls are breathing
Burning.
hot.
Burning.
Now, this lady you talked about that uses 70,000 naira for fuel just in a month, yeah?
2 weeks.
Okay, in 2 weeks. Tell me why the price of her goods will not increase.
It will definitely
It will definitely increase because she has to make it. She will not be doing that as a charity or to serve people. She will make it. So if you go to that shop to buy something, it will definitely be expensive. So we are just calling on the government that they should look into this power issue. We need lights. We need lights. Now imagine, yesterday I got fuel for 6,000 naira, and that fuel finished yesterday. Imagine I want to get fuel again today. It's going to be another 6,000 naira.
Or you budget now, more 10,000 naira.
Imagine, and that 6,000 naira did not even fill the 5-liter jerry can that I took. Initially, 5,000 naira fills my 5-liter jerry can, but now 6,000 naira did not fill my 5-liter jerry can. Now, if I want to buy fuel tomorrow, this week now, 6 times 7, what would I be able to cope?
I think it's enough of the lamentations because it's a whole lot of things.
Brighter days ahead.
Just like
the governor said.
Yes, brighter days ahead. Because if we keep on talking about the anomalies that we are surrounded with, I think it's going to take a whole lot from Morning Ride. But trust me, we have lots of other things lined up for your viewing pleasure. It's on this note that we go on a quick breather, and the next stop will be our interview segment. Stay tuned. Friday's edition of Morning Ride, and members of the advocacy. That's what we're going to be discussing on the topic, the need for better. That's what we're going to be discussing on the topic, the need for better Institute of Building, NTOB Delta Institute of Building, NTOB Delta State Chapter and Builder Emmanuel O. Akule. He's the Secretary, Nigerian Institute of Building, NIOB Delta State Chapter. Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Delta.
Good morning, Nigerians.
So, how are you doing this morning?
Wonderful. The honor. Roy. Labs that took place in 2019 of a school in Lagos. In fact, that's where the Builders Day thing started from. And ever since then, we've been having our Builders Week that, climaxed to this day, which is the Builders Day proper, March 13th of every year is our Builders Day. And for this year, advocacy, sustainable, and how government policies will affect a sustainable and resilient built environment. That is basically what we are on for today. And to buttress it further, we the Nigerian Institute of Building, we have been partnering with the government, especially at the national level, where we can have policies, reforms that will checkmate a lot of decadence in the built environment. It's not just for builders, but the built environment, which means that it also inculcates other professional bodies. We collaborate with them as well on the flip side. But for today, it's just for builders showcasing themselves to the public.
Okay, great. So, Builder Emmanuel, now looking at the country, Nigeria, what's the current state of the building law enforcement in Nigeria? How far has it strived? How far has these laws, made impact as regards building right here in the country?
Thank you very much. The laws in Nigeria about
yes.
building
yes.
has not really made impact to my own understanding.
Okay.
Though there are laws governing some of these practices, but there is no enforcement. For example, the builder who has the responsibility of implementing designs that have been produced by other professionals on site. That's his core responsibility. But when you go to site, you discover that you see carpenters, you see bricklayers, you see many of these people, they refer to them in quotes, engineers on site. And you see they're constructing buildings. And I ask myself, why would there not be building collapse when quacks are in charge of construction on site? And government is aware. So sometimes you ask yourself, is it that the government just made this law and just to make law, or they make it to implement it? So there are no reasonable enforcement of laws in the building industry.
Okay, so having established that there are no basic establishment, or there is poor building regulation enforcement in the country as regards buildings, now what are the consequences of these anomaly we are being faced with in the society?
Simple answer, building collapse.
Okay.
Then you will have a building, even though the building did not collapse, there are some buildings you will enter into. It will look as if you are inside the sun, because the heat in that house will be too much. Why? Because where they are supposed to place the window, because quacks build those houses, they will place in another place. Even the height of window. For example, there was a building I entered one day. I quickly left that place. They step it down by 1 foot, and the window at the sitting room is about 3 feet, the height. So how can somebody survive in that environment? So that shows you that there was no professional, there was no builder in that building when they were constructing it. Builder's input was not considered. And as a result of that, the building itself will not give its maximum benefit. The people there will not benefit it maximally. Though they are in the house, but it looks as if they are in a hut.
Okay. So Builder Roy and Builder Emmanuel just made a comment about poor building regulation enforcement in the country, which is one of the reasons why we see issues like building collapse, which is like the major reason that we have building collapse in the country. But why do you think that these building laws are circumvented or ignored right now in the country?
Well, before I answer that question, I know that I did mention that why the building day is being we are into it was
yes.
because of the collapse of a building, school structure in Lagos.
Yes.
Just some few days ago, there was another collapse of a school structure, but we thank God that no lives were lost. It's the same thing. When government refused to implement, imagine 2019, a building collapsed, and everybody shouted, oh, is this, is that, and all that. We set up laws. Laws were actually set up after that period. There were laws that were set up. But if you look at it, if they were implemented, enforced, we won't be having that same thing just some few days back of another school collapsing. These are the future of the country. These children are our future. And if we have them in places that are unfit, then we are going to be having problems. So for the laws not being implemented, I think one of the first things I always look at is the fact that, one, there's always this level of circumventing these laws. Everybody wants to bend it, especially those who are entrusted to interpret them. The professionals who are there to go out there and do these things. Everybody wants to bend it. Will I say for their own ulterior motives? That is left to be questioned, answered by whoever is involved. But the truth still remains is that when somebody is put in for it, somebody pays, is being queried for it, or has to pay for it, then I think every other person will sit up. Every other person will sit up in ensuring that, listen, a building collapse affects me, even if it's not my own building, but if it happens within my area, there's this tendency that people will say, oh, perhaps all buildings on this area, there's likelihood that they are going to be collapsing. So you see, people become skeptical. Investors become skeptical, bringing in their money. Who do they have to employ or engage for these services?
Okay. So how can authorities, including the government now, when I'm talking about authorities now, ensure that these laws that are in existence, like you established, are being implemented and they follow it to the latter, that people actually obey this to avert issues such as building collapse?
Okay, let me just quickly answer that. You see, government is about turnover, as far as I'm concerned.
Turnover in what aspect?
In all aspects. Profit, attacks, human resources, and the likes. That government is business. That's just the truth. And for you to go into a business, you must have a visibility of what you are going to do. Now, before you go into telling people to pay tax or what have you, you must have looked at it that there's a lot of people involved in this.
Yes.
It's time to let's get back. We have been putting in. The same thing applies to the building. Now, government, like for Delta State government, it's just set up the URP board, yes. Urban and Regional Planning Board. They've put in professionals there to enforce, to interpret and enforce these laws. Now, if you look at it, there's this problem of manpower, and I keep making this proposal that it is high time government have a private partnership with professional bodies. That is the only way you can checkmate the implementation, the non-implementation, more to speak, and how the industry moves forward. Now, the building industry or the construction industry is very relevant to the economy of any nation. When construction moves, the people move. That is the only way you can spread wealth amongst people. Now, the building industry is very, very important because, like there's a going saying, after Bele, na house, So this is where government can also come in and say, okay, yes, we can generate revenue at the same time implementing these laws and making sure that we have safe houses. Because once a building collapses, the first person who is affected, to be frank with you, is the governor of the state. The first person they are asking is, how you go there? This kind of thing they happen for your state. So it brings embarrassment. So that's the first thing. It loss of funds, loss of lives. You get what I'm saying? So there's need for proper implementation. And it's not just implementing these laws, but making sure that these laws are sustainable. These laws takes into cognizance the nitty-gritty that is required to make that the goal of getting a better built environment achieved. You get what I'm saying? So that is very key. Government partnering with professional bodies, partnering with even companies that produce these materials that we use. Because if you look at it, one of our other problems we have is that if you go to the market today, there are substandard products everywhere. We have the Standard Organization of Nigeria, who till this day, I do not know how much they've really influenced importation and manufacturing of these products that we use for building materials for building construction. So it's like a Russian roulette, if I would use that language, when you go into the market and you say you want to buy materials. Because if for a professional going to get a material and he doesn't have a place to test it, because there are no laws that says, okay, it must be enforced, go and test this before you use them. I mean, you find that people are just toss up a dime.
Okay.
Just go there and see how it works.
Okay. So, Builder Emmanuel, do you think that there should be stricter laws as regards to the breaches when it comes to building, like building collapse as a result of these buildings not situated where they are supposed to be situated, or using materials that were not supposed to be used? Do you think that the laws should be very, very strict on them? And what organizations do you think should be brought to book if there are anomalies associated with buildings?
Thank you very much. Yes, there should be stricter laws, especially in the area of materials.
building materials.
In the area of building materials. Standard Organization of Nigeria is a very important organization that's supposed to take building material very seriously. I don't know, you can go to any market right now, any building market now, and go and check the bars there, the reinforcement bars, which you normally call the rod. When you see 16 mm currently, it's like former 12 mm. I'm calling it former because in the market, when they present 16 mm to you, you'll be asking, which one is this? And you'll be surprised that at the back of it, you see where it's written 16 mm. But when you check it, it's either 13 and a half.
Lesser.
Or less. Then I ask myself, what is SON doing? What are they doing? So, there should be a stricter laws. But however, remember we're not discussing today about the building material anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about the builders.
Yes.
And then the regulations, in the building industry.
Okay, so talking about the regulations in the building industry now, what are some of the regulations now that you think that should be enforced to ensure that there is more visibility for the building industry, those in the building industry, as well as making impact in the quality of buildings that are, coming into the society,
Good.
as we speak?
Good. Before now, there have been line-up of rules how building should be constructed.
Yeah.
First of all, you obtain your architectural design. After the design, like the architectural design, you now go for structural design. For example, you want to construct a duplex. Then other service design, such as electrical and plumbing and the rest. Now go for approval. Then the builder comes in. First of all, remember who a builder is. Because many people don't know who a builder is. A builder is somebody that have been trained academically, who have gone to the university, spent 5 years there, or a polytechnic, spent minimum of 4 years there in the polytechnic. Then he now goes for registration, professional registration. First of all, with Nigerian Institute of Building, spent 3 years in out of school activities.
Yes.
So that going for different training at different zone, obtaining the certificates after school, about 3 years. Now you now go for professional exam. When you pass that exam, now you now go for the next one, which is registration for license to operate.
Right.
With the Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, COBON. Then when COBON finally issues you that license, you can now begin to operate as a builder. Now, remember when you graduate from Polytechnic, you are not a graduate builder here, you are seen as a technologist. Until after some years of experience.
From the Polytechnic, you are not a graduate builder.
No.
You are seen as a technologist.
Yes.
Wow.
But when you graduate from the university after spending 5 years, you are seen as a graduate builder.
Okay.
That is just a baby builder.
Okay.
But before you now go into professional activities for some years, before you are now registered with the institute and finally obtain your license. Now at the end of this, you go back to site. After architect and the rest people have designed whatever they design, you now, the builder, implements designs on site. And you see or such building on site.
Great. So time is not our friend. Builder Roy, I want to ask now, what changes would you suggest or would you propose as regards improving building law enforcement? Because you said something about the laws being there, but there's a problem with implementation. So how do you suggest that the government and authorities go about making sure that these laws are enforced in the society?
Like I mentioned earlier now, it's number one, the government cannot do it all. We are also part of government. Government should come into a partnership with the professional bodies. You see, I'm a registered builder.
Okay.
I'm only saying, you only know that because I'm telling you I'm registered. You need to have a database where you can say, okay, let's go and check if actually this man is a registered builder. Government needs to have a database for professional bodies, not just builders, but every professional body. So when your name comes up, we want to know, are you truly a member of that place to start with. Because I'll tell you one thing, any building that collapses that is not done by a professional, is the client that is in charge, that will be held responsible.
The owner of the project.
The owner of the project will be held responsible. Okay. Because you are putting the lives of people in danger by not ensuring the professional persons to handle it.
Okay. So, Builder Roy, with what you and Builder Emmanuel have highlighted so far, there seems to be a conflict between cost and safety when it comes to building, you know, the desire for the owner of the project or those who are setting up that project or building trying to cut costs at the detriment of safety. That's why we have lots of building collapse, like you've highlighted in your point. So how do we draw the line and ensure that there is a balance in both, to ensure that in as much as, you know, I'm not spending so much, or in as much as, let's say, I'm spending so much, it is not exorbitant, and at the same time, I'm not putting lives at risk?
Okay, there's something that's said in marketing. I think your best price is the one you negotiate.
Oh.
That is the best price, is your negotiation, that point. So you cannot get away from cost. There's something my dad used to say. He says, cheap things are never good, and good things are never cheap. So I'm not saying that it's going to be exorbitant, but you are looking at quality. You want to get the best at the right price. That's the point. You want to get the best at the right price. And even if you are finding difficulty in pricing, you can always seek an alternative quote from another professional within that industry. The cost implications I will incur is different from when you go and meet a roadside person. He doesn't know the responsibility he's taking up. I am taking up a responsibility, and I'm there to also advise the client beyond just bringing money, that this, while you are paying this is what you are getting. And because you are getting this is the reason and the return on your investment. So it doesn't become a thing that you just carry money and you dump into a bottomless pit and you cry out wolf at the end of the day. So the cost is a thing that is subjective to the time. Okay. Great. So cost is subjective to the time, because if today, last week, if you give a quote for a project, it cannot be the same this week, because if you could look at it, some things have changed. So clients, everybody should also understand that there are changes, but at the same time, if you want the best, you must be able to check between professional costs, professional persons, not checking with professionals and quacks.
Okay.
Yes.
So before we go, time is not our friend. You know, this week is the Builders Week. So before we go, Builder Emmanuel, let me begin with you. Can you throw more light on the commemoration and, of course, your final words to Deltans and Nigerians seeing you out there?
Yes, okay, let me say, if you are about to construct a building and you don't have a builder around you, please look for one.
A professional builder.
Look for a professional builder, because he's going to save you a lot on site. First of all, he's going to build your house to standard, because that is his core mandate.
Yes.
Then two, you are going to enjoy it. You are going to, even with the minimal expenses. For example, you want to build a house and a builder gives you maybe 12 million, for example, and a bricklayer gives you like 8 million. You say, that idiot, how can you give me 12 million? You don't know what's going on. That money he gives you, 8 million, you'll be surprised that you spend 16 million. Because yes, he's going to state and tell you this one, that one, that one, this one, that one. And because it's a cheap labor, okay, you bring again, you bring again, you bring. When you sum it, you discover that you'd have gone for that professional other than this quack. Because quack will not tell you everything, you know. And meanwhile, you will not enjoy your building. And again, you want to build something like more than one floor, and you don't have a professional too. It's another danger. Because he has what you call duty of reasonable forcibility and duty of care. He is on site. There are some things he will see that a bricklayer will never see. Yes. Sometimes some accidents that happen on site, check who is there. When a builder is there, you hardly see those things, because he must have known that this is going to happen before time. But since you are paying quack, you don't want to, you feel that professional is very costly, then you just go for the lesser one. At the end, you pay higher money with less quality output. So it is important you go for a trained builder.
Okay. So, Builder Roy, your final words.
Well, for me, not just a trained or professional builder, but a professional all the same. Every professional has their abilities. I just want to make one example of a building that collapsed, and one-story building that collapsed with the owner inside. You see, he paid the ultimate price for getting quacks or not wanting to give his property to a professional to manage. You see, I keep telling people, you want to go to the doctor or a surgeon, for instance, you don't tell the surgeon where to operate on you. But when it comes to building, you want to cut corners, you want to find, but you forget that the building that you are going to even do that, the place you are going to take up that structure, that surgery, is in a building, it's not under a tree. So if you don't get a professional at that point, you might even go there for the surgery, and both the doctor and yourself, that's the end. So the requirements of a professional, or the need for professionalism, outweighs every other thing you can think of, even the cost. It outweighs the cost. So my take home for a lot of Deltans and Nigerians in particular is seek the services of a professional. In the building industry, seek the services of a professional builder. It is very, very important. When you get your professional architect, does your design, and insist that the person to build it, who is trained, who is taking the responsibility, must be a professional builder. That way, you save yourself the calamity of the future. Rather, you get the enjoyment of a lifetime.
All right, in the words of Builder Emmanuel and Builder Roy, seek the services of a professional builder. Well, we've been speaking with the duo of Builder Ononye Roy, who is the chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Building, Delta State Chapter, and Builder Emmanuel Akule, who is the secretary of the Nigerian Institute of Building, Delta State Chapter, on the theme advocacy and policy influence towards sustainable reforms for a resilient built environment, talking about the Builders Week 2026. Yes, and also deliberating on the topic, the need for better enforcement of building laws. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for gracing our couch this beautiful Friday morning.
Thank you very much, Paula.
All right, you're still on to Friday's edition of Morning Ride. We'll take a quick breather, and by the time we return, it will be time for our next segment. Stay tuned.